Hello everyone, Adelina here for Hutson.com, sharing 4 ways to use clay polymer embellishments. First up, I'm going to be showing you a project I made using the clay sweet treats by Hi to create this cute little dinosaur card. The first thing I did is pull out my Essentials by Ellen landscape dies to create the little hill that this dinosaur is going to be standing on. I used some dot adhesive to adhere the hill to the card front. I prefer this to liquid adhesive so I don't get any warping. The next thing I did is pull out some sentiments from the Everyday Punnies, also from the Essentials by Ellen line. And this little sentiment set has a variety of punny sentiments that are good for just about every occasion. And so for today's card, I'm using a sentiment that says, "You are just the sweetest," which I thought would be really fun to use with the little cupcake embellishments that I'm using today. I stamped my sentiment using some Memento ink in Tuxedo Black. It is a Copic friendly ink, and since I'm going to be coloring my images with Copic markers, I thought it was the perfect ink pad to pull out for this project. Once I stamped my sentiment, I set my card aside and then pulled out the Essentials by Ellen Dynamite Halloween stamp set. And I'm going to be using the little dinosaur from this stamp set. And I love this little image, and even though it's part of a Halloween set, if you pair it with any of the sentiments in the Essentials by Ellen line, it can be used for a variety of occasions. So it's a really versatile little image. And I have little boys who love dinosaurs right now, so it's perfect for birthday cards and gift tags for their friends' birthdays. So once I had my images stamped, I stamped it twice just in case I make a mistake, because I am prone to doing that. You see there that I have a little piece of cardstock that I tested some blending on, and that is just to kind of see how the two colors would layer. I went through, did a first layer of the BG45, and then went back and added some shading. When I do my shading, I like to go in really dark at first and then blend out with the lighter color. I am by no means an expert with the Copic markers, but I find that this process works really well for me when I'm coloring these small images. And I try to feather out whenever I can, when the space allows for it. And when I don't have room for that, I just kind of layer the colors on top of each other. So as you see here, I'm kind of feathering the darker color up on his head because I have a little more room to play with there. And then in the corners, I'm just kind of layering the two colors. I really like the scale of the images that were part of the September release. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but the huge images where my Copic marker skills are put to the test just are too intimidating for me. So I tend to lean more towards these kind of medium-sized images. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, once I was done coloring his body, I came back with YR7, YR14, and YR16 to color his spots and the spikes on his back. I probably could have gotten away with 2 colors, but I decided to go with 3. Then I pulled out my white gel pen and added some spots on his little head, and I had such a good time doing that on these dinosaur images. The gel pens really show up nicely on the Copic marker coloring. And the fun thing about this particular little dinosaur is when you die cut him, he can actually hold things. And so I die cut this little one and then used my tweezers to pull up his hands where I would be tucking away some of those embellishments. And so once that was done, here I'm using some tweezers for that. And then I turned him over and added some foam adhesive. And I was careful not to add any foam adhesive on the area where I'd be tucking the embellishments. So it allowed for a little mobility to kind of tuck those clay pieces into his little hands. So once I removed the backing off of all that foam tape, I pulled out the clay polymer images that I'd be using, or embellishments that I'd be using for this project, and they are by a company called Hi, and they are called Sweet Treats. And I decided to pull out the little cupcake images from this set, and they come with a variety of candies and other images. I use on-point glue for adhering the embellishments to this image, and I recommend using tweezers. The clay polymer embellishments range in size from 3 millimeters to 6 millimeters, so they're tiny, and they're a lot easier to manage if you've got a pair of tweezers. And all I do is put a little bitty dot of glue and put them in place, and then apply a little bit of pressure. And the on-point glue dries fairly quickly, so once you attach your embellishment, it's good to go. And there you have the completed card. So a few ways you can use these embellishments, they come in a variety of packages, is if you've got images that have die cuts where they can hold things, you can use the cupcake sweet treats or candies. You can use them in a shaker. If you do use them in a shaker, make sure that you add enough foam so that you get some movement, because some of these clay images are kind of thick. Put them in a container. For this little image, I put them in a bowl. You can put them in a glass or on a table. And then use them to express sentiment. So here I use the hearts to express love. You can use stars to express excitement. All of these embellishments are available in the Ellen Hutson shop. Thanks for watching today. If you like this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up.